They're still rocking that hollowware right here. So Phoenix, here we are, Purple Squad, they're all a-moving. There we go. This losers finals match is underway.
Yeah, and we are just about to get started here. This is a really interesting rollout, you know, a 2-on-2 for the most part, but also just seeing the way how these two teams are operating. On the side of Phoenix, there are two experience shares. I don't know if that was miscommunication or, you know, maybe there's a strat. Maybe one of them just wants to move slightly faster. That might be the case, but hopefully it will play out in their favor and they will figure out how they can really utilize all of that to their advantage.
Yes, we will hopefully touch base on that a little bit later, but look at this. We're going to notice our little slowpoke friend right there can tank a lot of that damage, but there are limits, and so obviously going to be testing those limits right here, right now. And so obviously some early KOs on both sides, though. Kanashi and I often note that this is not the end of the world when you die early like that, but a KO early on does mean that you might miss out on some experience and things like that. So it is a double-edged sword, right? Because you've got the trade-off of possibly missing experience, but your respawn timer is so fast at that point.
Yeah, you can get KO'd early and have enough time to respawn and regroup, which is an important little bit of this, but hopefully, you know, these teams won't be having that issue that much, just giving them a little bit of time to go ahead and play off of what they want to do here. So Griefers just trying to figure out where they want to go, get a little bit of HP going their way, but Phoenix trying to deal a little bit of damage as well, making sure that they don't get anything for free.
Griefers actually able to turn that one completely around, because you actually saw that we were about one punch away with that Snorlax on the KO would have been on Dragonair right there actually from Griefers, but able to teleport at that very exact clutch second. And so able to bring themselves back in, completely turn it around, like I said, because Charles, our Snorlax here, was taken down. So I would say wonderful job for Griefers there in that middle area, seeing that skirmish kind of early for this matchup. 26 dunked in on that bottom path here from Blissey on Griefers. So I think you're looking pretty good if you're Griefers, obviously, but it's still very early. We don't want to call anything just yet. And look at this. There's the exact reason why. We're going to see, obviously, a Zarina fall right here, and very nicely done from Phoenix's side. So they still got the fight in them.
Yeah, and they are getting ready for the second set of Bs here at 720. We'll see if that is going to be the case here, but also you do see them might preemptively teleport down to get ready to go ahead and get in position for this Dreadnought, getting them a little bit more experience just because they know that Griefers has the experience lead so far.
That's right. So quickly those bees go down, and then we got about 10 seconds to that Dreadnoughts here. But look at this, the power nap's going on. I guess it's not a power nap because that would be the Unite move, but we're getting a little rest in before that Dread. And so everybody's now all hands on deck. Griefers making the zoning play right here because they do kind of have that advantage of positioning. But notice they found an opening. Phoenix coming in right here from the bottom left, and they will try, but the right side team, that's Griefers, going to go ahead and take that Dreadnought right here and now and get some of these drops and kind of, I would say, test the limits right here of what they can do, because they are pushing on through that Purple Squad despite the efforts.
I feel like this does come down to the way how the Dragonite has been farming for both sides. Griefers have been really prioritizing the levels advantage for that, and as you can see, their Dragonite is actually 2 levels ahead of the opposing Dragonite, making it really tough for them to go ahead and play this catch-up game. And I feel like that came down to the Dreadnought as well, just being able to give them more experience, but it's going to be really tough for Phoenix to go ahead and catch up unless they happen to get another objective going their way.
Yeah, Phoenix surely trying, but you're noticing this right there, a 40 dunked in from this Zarina on Griefers, and then getting a pretty crucial KO against your tank right there if you're Phoenix. So again, Griefers really looking to be the team to say, hey, we got this, because this could be a 40 overcap. No, okay, so we are actually not going to see that dunked in right there. Would have been a little bit brazen, you know, right in the face of everybody right here, but notice just people dropping from both teams, and so this is creating quite a chaotic scenario here on this top path, while they meanwhile, of course, pick up the Rotom. So looking for that to touchdown, and it'll go ahead and take out that goal.
Yeah, they are going to take out that first goal, just apply a little bit more pressure, making it tough for them to go ahead and grab whatever they can. But Griefers just trying to continue on forward. Combi really playing that good defense for Phoenix at the moment, but Griefers is going to go ahead and break that front goal, give them a little bit more space to go ahead and work with that Dreadnought once it spawns in about 20 seconds.
See a nice little 2 junked in right here. Hopefully not at the expense of the life of this Slowbro. Obviously going to be feeling it, but we do have the amnesia. We're set up, you know, we're a tank and looking to be joined by maybe some support, but it was just way too late, man. Phoenix trying, you know, we saw some of them advancing on this path, like this Dragonite, for example, but we have that Dreadnought spawning right here, and the only one not on deck for Griefers is going to be that Dragonite, who's actually going to be scoring that 40 up there on that top path. And so we'll see if that trade-off pays off. You know, we do have the rings unbound, so it can bring them back in, luckily in time. So that was well executed for Griefers. It's just Phoenix could have maybe made the push a little bit sooner. They may make the push anyway, as we see right here, Kanashi.
Yeah, they are pushing on forward. Phoenix trying to get a little bit more space, and this time actually securing the Dreadnought, allowing them to catch up a little bit in levels, and might make this game a little bit more interesting as we're moving forward. You do see now the Venusaur is level 13, giving them a little bit more pressure and more space to work with here. So we'll see if they can even out the score. That's going to be something for, you know, the last couple minutes of this game. It's going to be a matter of how well they can score and what kind of pressure they can apply. But overall, you know, Phoenix might have the level advantage. Now they just have to get the objectives going their way as well.
Certainly, I mean, Griefers having this score right now, it does look good at this stage, but when you're looking at 3:40 on the clock, you know, coming up pretty soon, we still have that final stretch, and anything would happen if you're only within about 100 points range. That's easy to make up in the final stretch, and so it's just what is going to occur within this now 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So Griefers will pick up the Rotom right here. Phoenix obviously ready for it. You know, we actually see them hiding out in the grass, and so it was almost like this was premeditated. This was calculated right here. They are going to go ahead and use the hyperspace hole, get back if you're Griefers, but that's kind of leaving a vulnerability open right here for a Zarina. Obviously, they are letting Rotom touch down. It does look like Phoenix right here, but they're able to bring out everybody out of the mix. Now, Dragonite is going to try to maybe push the limits right here with 46, and they will actually just kind of eke on through and score that. That is going to be an overcap of 6 right here. And, you know, you could look at it in multiple ways, but I guess that was probably the best thing. If you didn't have a 50, for example, and you're just going to sneak on by. But obviously, they are going to lose a lot of their players in exchange for it.
Yeah, the thing is that Griefer still has that level advantage, or not the level advantage, but the score advantage. Yeah. Really just applying a ton of pressure to the lane and not making it easy for Phoenix to do much here. So I feel like it is going to come down to the way how Phoenix plays out these last couple seconds. Are they going to go ahead and prioritize trying to get these objectives, or is it going to we're just going to focus down the Zapdos, make sure that we can get what we can in order to stay competitive here? Meanwhile, Griefers are going to go ahead and grab the Dreadnought, the last Dreadnought of the game, and so it is going to be a matter of having a little bit of shields moving on into this final Zapdos fight.
I think that is good. You know, they would need something like the Dreadnought if they want to just have the levels as well, because it's like they may not have the advantage over that level 15 Venusaur, for example, but that does bring our Dragonite up 14. We got 13 on Zarina, so we at least can make somewhat of a stand right here if it was to go to this team fight exactly. Now, we're noticing just some kind of pokes and prods right here, but Phoenix really having the positioning at the moment. It's just that Griefers, I think, does look calculated about it, right? Because now they're going to go ahead and try to push while having that Hoopa down here at the end. So you see what this is making. Kanashi's going to react to it too, exactly appropriately, because they're going to bring everybody to that back goal. What a goal is right. What a play, I would say. Left side team is left to their devices with that Zapdos, but notice the Hundo Dunkers from Griefers. Kanashi, dude, your reaction was exactly right. It's just that, like you see that ominous thing ready to happen. You know, Phoenix does have the Hundos, but can they dunk them in? If we see these Hundo Dunkins, we could look at it as a very different game. But here we go. Both sides going to be dropping them in. Griefers still getting their points as well. So does Phoenix have enough? And the answer basically is no at this point. It's just, you know, can they bring something back in this last minute? Because we still have Griefers here in the back. They're trying to just still make these caps behind the fact. After the fact is what I'm trying to say. I'm so sorry. So there we go. Another 22 for both sides right here. And we're seeing this massive team fight. So Kanashi, call it for this last 40 seconds.
Yeah, you just see Phoenix trying to push their way through the Snorlax, trying to keep them at bay, but Gordo's doesn't have any points to score. They don't have any points to score. Griefers has already dunked them into their goal, and so unfortunately there's not going to be a lot going down here. Like trying to get maybe 7 in here, trying to forget what's going on, doesn't know what's going on, as Griefers is going to go ahead and play enough defense to prevent them from closing this out essentially.
Right.
But yeah, as a knee-jerk reaction to it. You saw the Hoopa just kind of walking towards that final goal, and I'm like, oh man, they're just gonna TP and get the damage through. Phoenix not having enough players, not having enough score to go ahead and let this through. So Griefers is gonna go ahead and play enough defense to go ahead and move up against to send a black.
And I would say that was really well executed. You know, they didn't look like they were, you know, freaking out. Is this going to work? You know, sometimes you can just tell that from the way that people are playing. That is going to be a final score of 752 for Griefers, 598 for Phoenix right here. But like I say, they are looking solid. I mean, 282 dunked in from that Dragonite.
Yeah, they were able to just kind of play this out, and you do see like how much pressure Griefers was able to apply here. It really did help that, you know, they used the hyperspace hole to get there, and they had the lead kind of going into it. If it was any closer, I think that they wouldn't have risked doing that play and played it safer and just used the Hoopa Unite to get into the fight for Zapdos. But they were confident that they were ahead by 200. They had a lot of pressure moving forward, so just being able to close out that last bit was really important for them, and really did secure down the win for